It seems like a bunch of people, like abuse victims, are getting really riled up because of the things that Johnny Depp's lawyers are saying and doing. And someone said to me, make a video about Camille or whatever her name is. I hate her so much with my whole heart and soul. So I understand that perspective, and I was thinking like there's something fishy going on with these lawyers. Like when Ben Chu stood up, Amber's lawyers tried to dismiss this whole thing because she basically won, and she tried to get it dismissed, and Ben Chu stood up and he kind of yelled at her and said, "You are the real abuser in this whole thing." And that's a bold statement. Like at this point in time, like the best that can be is mutual abuse. Like based on the evidence, the best version for things right now is that this is mutual abuse between them. So to call her the real abusers, like that's a bold move to say, and that Johnny Depp is a victim. That's a bold move, and I didn't understand where they were going with this. But now, like seeing the way that they're handling things, like if I were to like just to play devil's advocate for a second, I think that his lawyers are just doing their job. They're doing the best they can in the situation. Their client They advised their client. There's rumors where they kept telling him to settle, to not take it this far, to not take it to court, and he wanted to take it this far, and that's what's going on. They tried to get him out of this, and now they're just doing the best that they can, and part of it is like what they're doing. So you see the woman lawyer is like hugging him. They're being really sweet with him. Like he's doodling and he's showing it to this guy, and they're being super friendly with each other, and it makes you think that Johnny Depp is more innocent, like, and that's part of their job, is acting in that way. And Ben Chu put up like a middle finger discreetly, and I think that was in response to Amber's testimony, like where she gave the story about her being assaulted with the bottle, sexually assaulted with the bottle. I think that might have been when he gave her the middle finger. And I think that kind of like discrediting her story in that way is a little, it's the strategic way to prove their point, and that's how they can influence things, and it's not a bad move. But I don't think they're bad people for doing what they're doing. They're just doing their job. Like, what they asked if they have to be there when the verdict is read out, and the judge said that they don't have to be there when they read out the verdict. And I think it just kind of shows that they kind of know that they're not going to win this thing. They know what the assignment is, and the assignment in Johnny Depp's eyes is not to win the trial, it's to win the court of public opinion, and they're doing a good job doing that. So I don't have a problem with them doing what they're doing. I titled this like the way I've titled it just because like people keep wondering like how much I'm being paid by Amber, and if I work for her PR team, and I'm not being paid to do this. Her PR team is not approving this message, obviously. So I just wanted to make that clear. And the reason why I'm doing this isn't for money. It's just like pure entertainment reasons. It's not out of the goodness of my heart. I just think this is an entertaining thing that's going on, and I wanted to comment on it. And that's all it is. So I have no problem with the lawyers doing what they're doing personally. First, I want to talk about the parts that Johnny Depp's lawyers may have made some good points. So there's this thing where they brought up her deposition tape, and she puts her hands over her mouth after she says something about TMZ, and she accused her of like, you slipped up, didn't you? And Amber's like, no, that's not what I was talking about. I was talking about something else. And I remember that Amber and Johnny had this phone call where they talked about this thing, and Amber said that his lawyers leaked the TMZ tape. I'm not sure about the dates of all this stuff, but he's saying like we should handle this privately, and she's like, but you're the one, your lawyers are the one that leaked that TMZ tape, and that's what she said on the stand. That she explained all that on the stand, and on that phone call, Johnny Depp never denied it, and and she was like, all these rumors are coming out about me, you're the one that leaked it. And then she was like, I knew you'd give it to them. And he's like, I'd give them. And she's like, and then he's like, I would never do that. I would never like release information about you. And I just think that he would give his lawyers anything that they needed to win the thing. Like, I think he's not above sharing the secrets of her to the lawyers to get what he wants. So I think he's capable of doing it. They're doing dirty tactics for sure. So I think that he would have given his lawyers all the information they wanted. I believe that he was the one that leaked those tapes based on what they're saying. But I can understand like why people can see this thing that his lawyer pointed out to be a slip up, and that it means that she leaked those tapes. I don't think so, but she has called out something that would lead to reasonable doubt. So I'll give credit where credit's due. I think she made a good point. Fair enough on that part. In that part. The other thing that I want to point out that was a very interesting point. It did create reasonable doubt, and I don't even understand what it means at this point. What to think of Amber if what they're saying is true, is because the Carly Simon thing, like the writing on the walls, a lot of it you can't deny that Johnny Depp did that, and she's trying to grill Amber about what happened with the bottle. And saying like, you are the actual abuser. He locked himself in 5 bathrooms, 2 bedrooms, but you kept coming to get him. And Amber's like, no, he has a bad memory. He doesn't know what happened. I just knocked on the door once. And then she was like, no, he did this. And at the end of it, ultimately, we know that Johnny Depp came out of whatever he was locked into because he wrote on everything. The blood came directly out of his fingertip, the severed finger. It came out of his finger. So he got out of all those rooms at some point, and he wrote with his blood on everything using the paint. That is proven that he got out of those rooms at some point, and he could have done what Amber is alleging he did. And they can't disprove what Amber's saying. Like, I was wondering, like, are they going to be able to poke holes in her story? And I don't think that they can do it. And that's why they have to focus on these stupid things. And there's something like where Johnny Depp said, like, I wrote this thing. He admits to writing the stuff on the stand. He said, I went into a nervous breakdown and I wrote that stuff. But there's certain things it's like, I did not write that thing. Like the Carly Simon said You're So Vain, that song, it was referenced, and Amber denied that she wrote that. And they asked her about the op-ed, who's the op-ed about, and she said that it's not just about Johnny Depp, it's about men in power in general. It's bigger than me. It's not all about him. He's so vain to think it's all about him, is what my thing is. And that's what the lawyer said, is he's so vain. You're the one that wrote Carly Simon Said It Better, Babe. You're the one that wrote that. And I'm starting to think that maybe she is the person that wrote that. Like, she was not, for whatever reason, she wasn't scared enough. She wasn't that concerned. And that maybe Amber did write that stuff in, was it lipstick or some, it wasn't written in blood, and it's different handwriting. It's possible that she wrote that down. And you think, what the hell does that mean? Why would Amber Heard write that down in an obviously scary situation? And it is a confusing thing that I kind of do believe that Amber did that now. And I don't know what it means. It's very interesting. And Amber denied it. She was like, I don't even know what that song is. I don't know what that's in reference to. That's old people music. Saying that because it's such an old song, he's the one who would know it. At the same time, that's how she and Johnny Depp bonded, is because they like the same music. So it's very possible that she likes old people music. She knows exactly what that song is, and she made that reference, and she was making fun of him at this desperate time. It's interesting. It's very interesting. And when I listened to that video, the Secret Australia videotape, where they're talking about what she did wrong with him, and she said, and the text messages that Johnny wrote to his lawyer, it seems like that fight was about her saying that he's an old fat man, berating him in that way, insulting him, telling him he's not pretty anymore, stuff like that. That seems to be what that fight was about. I don't know if the bottle assault happened. I don't know what went down. If Amber's making this stuff up to like mess with him, it has caused reasonable doubt. However, it cannot be disproven. And so her point still stands. And despite that, I do believe that the physical assaults, like the stuff before it, has happened. Because there's no way of disproving it. And it makes sense. It fits with what she's saying. You can't disprove the bruises. So they have a tough time. But this is an interesting point that the lawyer made. It means nothing. It means absolutely nothing. Because the point is to disprove that Johnny Depp physically harmed her. And they can't disprove that. And that's why they're getting a little bit desperate. But this is an interesting point, and it makes me like Amber a little bit better. I can't explain how, but it makes me like her a little bit better. Just because she said "You're So Vain" is an old person song, and I don't even know what that song is. I don't know what it's in reference to. That made me like her a little bit better. Okay, so to address the parts where this lady was crumbling in what she was saying, like, questioning why Amber never sought medical attention, like even though she said her feet were cut by broken glass and that she was bleeding after the attack. Why didn't she seek medical attention? And the stuff that she, like, who seeks medical attention because you cut your feet with broken glass? You don't seek medical attention for that kind of thing. Like, it's just a stupid line of questioning, and this is where she kind of shot herself in the foot. This is where things start to crumble, because the stuff that Amber's sister was saying about Amber being on medication, and that apparently there is like coercive control happening where Johnny Depp hires a private medical staff to keep Amber Heard sedated, like under control. And there's proof based on what Amber said, that he had her on all kinds of medication. She lost track of it, and she couldn't respond to the world around her. That, like, this is like Britney Spears type level of control of what the conservatorship that she was in. That's what her family did to her, and this is serious level of abuse. And the jury has to be biased or something to not, like, give Amber, like, the full money, to not, like, because this is a serious level of abuse. And the stuff where it's like, it was very clear, like, he is the priority. Like, that's the thing that they kept saying on the secret tape. That's not in the trial. They kept saying that Johnny Depp is the priority and Amber Heard doesn't matter as much. And they work for him. And he's like, I am the client. And he said that I was the one who asked for you to calm her down and keep her under control. Not because she was kicking drugs, it was to take her pressure away from me. Same reason that I hired her shrink, who, by the way, only made her worse. And it ends with, like, 3 exclamation points. He has, like, that style of writing where everything has, like, 3 exclamation points. And he writes in a super manic way. But, yeah, this is him speaking, and it's very clear abuse, and it's proven. Like, they have no point asking her about seeking medical attention. Like, this line of questioning goes nowhere, and you'll see, like, all the ways it fizzles into nothing. And It's just they're doing a bad job, and this is how Amber's like kind of winning in my eyes. Other people don't seem to see it, which is very interesting. And then there's this whole thing where they're talking about Amber covering up her bruises with makeup and how she doesn't look injured. And this is the thing that I think really pissed off the abuse victims. Like they got really annoyed with what she was saying, like how Amber was able to cover up her bruises the next day. She said that she broke her nose, she iced it and then put on makeup, and this lady was like, "You don't look injured, your nose looks fine." And she was like, "Yeah, because I iced it and put on makeup." And then there's this other thing where they kept showing pictures of Amber like weeks after the alleged attack, and she said, "Yeah, I was basically healed after that attack, so that's why my face looks fine." And they kept showing pictures of her face zoomed in, and it just seemed like what she's saying is still kind of believable. I don't see what she's saying. Like there's no point to this line of questioning. They showed the scratches on her arms and saying like, well, she had no point, and Amber was saying like, "Yeah, I used makeup to cover up. The stuff that he did to me did not require medical attention. That's why I don't have a medical record of it." She ended up giving Amber this medical record, and at the end of it, Amber pointed out that it said that she was a well-nourished male, and then the lawyer was like, "I don't know what that means." I was like, poor woman, she's dying up there. And it was so disjointed. Like, she had to go from topic to topic because Amber was like not breaking down. Like, they had no holes to poke, and she had to just move disjointedly from topic to topic and never made a good point at a certain point. Like, it was all just so bad. And it was funny how at the end of it, people were like, "She did so good. She killed it." And then I guess it was just like, she just took that. She was like, "Well, I'll be the people think I was killing it in that because I really was crumbling." Like, I think she's just like happy that people appreciate. Like, if people are gonna give her a pat on the back, she'll just take the pat on the back. I don't see a problem with taking the pat on the back. Like, fair enough. It's not her fault that some people are just too stupid to see that she did horrendous. She did okay based on what she had. It's a hard case. They have no points. I think she did do as well as she could based on the circumstances. She did make some good points, and some things she just completely fumbled. And it's not her fault that people could not see that she fumbled it, but she did the best that she could, so good for her on that. For me, I didn't understand the lawyer's strategy of like trying to prove that Amber is having affairs with people, that she invited James Franco over at 11 p.m. and they see them at an elevator together. They're not even like touching. They're not really touching. That's kind of apart. He puts his hand on her face for a second, but like they're not kissing. There's nothing like that. There's no definitive proof that she cheated on Johnny Depp. They just have her speaking to her friend in an elevator at 11 p.m. That's all they have. That's the only evidence, and they're trying to say that means something. They have no point. And the other thing, like, I don't even understand what to make of it, where this Camille Vasquez, I think, she was suggesting that Amber Heard got her role in Aquaman because of Johnny Depp. And Amber was like, "Excuse me?" And she was like, no, I got that role because I auditioned. And for me, it's just like, this is an obviously misogynistic idea to put out, like, and she must know it. Like, I think that maybe this woman she must be like trying to signal to people that she is on the wrong side by asking these obvious misogynistic questions. And when I think about like why did Amber get the role in Aquaman, and I have to think like she got that role because of the obvious reasons, like if you look at Amber Heard, like, that's how you get the role in Aquaman. You don't have to like he doesn't Johnny Depp did not need to put in a good word for her. Like she got the job because she's attractive. That's it. Like that's all she need. Like I don't think she needed his help to get it. And I don't see what the point that she's making is. And there are rumors that him and his lawyer are being flirtatious with each other, that they're dating, and that's not a good thing. That's not good for her professional career. Like for Vasquez to have this thing where they're saying that she's dating her client. That's not going to be a good thing for her reputation. That's not a good thing for her career to have that idea out there. However, because her client just wants to win the court of the public opinion, it's okay for her to play it up right now, but it's not a good thing for her in the long term. It's not what she would want. Like as a woman, that's not good for your reputation. And asking Amber about like you only got this job because of Johnny Depp is just clearly not good. It's not right. It's not the right thing to do. It just so to me, I'm just like seeing things like the best way I can. I just have to think that she's trying to signal to people that she's not on the right side. Like I have to think that might be what's happening. There's certain things that Amber can't say to the jurors, or no one can really say it. Like, she can't tell people, I got these jobs because I'm a good-looking person, I'm pretty. She can't say that because it's going to make people think bad of her. So I'll be the one to say it. Like, she got these jobs because of beauty. She got it for the obvious reasons. Move on, please. Come on, this is stupid. I don't need him to say anything nice about me. I can get the job because of beauty. Like, that she can't do that. Like, it's just look at her. That's the reason. Move on. They've kind of dug themselves into a hole with this whole Aquaman line of questioning, because you think about, like, okay, so how did Amber Heard get her role in the Rum Diary? Like, was it because of Johnny Depp? Because they weren't a couple when she got that role. So why did she get it? Is it maybe because of her own talent and, like, her attractiveness? Like, is why she got that role? Like, obviously, that's part of the reason why she got that role. So, and that's why she got Aquaman as well. Like, if you don't think she's talented, it's really, this whole thing is like a beauty contest, and that's how she got these roles. That's how she got so far in her career, is because of that. So, but then what they're trying to say is it just doesn't make him look good. And like, Amber's alleging certain things. Like, she said that when he was her boss, like, there's certain things that he did that was not right. Like she says that he picked up her robe and then said yum, and that's kind of like, that's inappropriate behavior in the workplace. It's like sexual harassment, and I think he's going to take the stand, so it'll be interesting to see like what he's going to say in response. Is he going to say that he doesn't remember doing that? It's just going to be interesting, like, because they've kind of dug a grave, and he's gonna get called out for something. So this is interesting. They've just done a horrible job. His lawyers have done a horrible job with this Aquaman questioning. Like, it's bad that they're doing those types of strategies. Like, it's not a good look for him. Overall, Amber has done a pretty great job in, like, both, like, telling her story. She told the story with a lot of confidence, gave a lot of detail, things I thought that she could get picked apart over. But it turns out that the lawyers had no point. And, like, they tried to poke holes, like, the bottle story. She prefaced that story by telling them that she had a disjointed memory, that she blacked out certain parts of it. There was a traumatic event. It happened a long time ago. Her memory of it is a little bit hazy. So the lawyer, like, going into details, like, saying, like, was he holding this and this at the same time? And it's just like, it's not a good point. Like, she has no good points, and Amber like handled everything pretty great. She remained calm despite all these strategies. Like, I think Johnny Depp like instructed them like all the things that he could say to like poke at her, like trying to make it out like she's not good at what she does, that she's not a good actress, and this and that, and trying to poke at her, trying to make her lose her cool. I think he gave them those tips, and it didn't work. She remained unbothered. She remained calm, and she did good. I think she did pretty good in this whole thing. So, well, I don't see how, like, he was crumbling in his cross examination. So in comparison, Amber is coming across as like the more credible person in the stories because she did well in both parts, and Johnny Depp did badly in both his parts. So we'll see what the jury thinks. Now it's time to talk about the lie, the thing that Amber is, I think she's being investigated for perjury because of this or something, because she said that she gave the full amount of money to the sick kids, and she didn't actually do that. She wasn't able to do that. She has this payment plan spanning over 10 years where she's supposed to pay that money, and it got interrupted because Johnny Depp is suing her. And I have an opinion on this about why she wanted to give the money to the sick kids. I have my theory on this and what it all means, and like people like the way that people were talking about it, like she is such a horrible person, that she dangled this money in front of the sick kids' eyes and then she just didn't give it to them. And that's not what happened. Like, this whole thing, like, her giving, it's a donation. She can give the money. It's a gift. She doesn't have to give a gift. Just because you say you're going to give a gift, it doesn't mean you have to give a gift. And, okay, so say fine. Like, she said to the people under oath that she gave the money. Like a donation, like she gave her explanation, like a donation versus a pledge. She used it interchangeably, and she said, "My mistake, I misspoke." That's not enough to, okay, she misspoke. That's not perjury. Like, her excuse can like make that thing go away. So I don't think you can say like it's perjury. Like, misspeaking, saying donation when you mean a pledge is a different thing. Like, I believe for her to, like, because she made her payments on time before all this happened, it makes you think that she has the full intention to pay that amount of money, which is what I thought. I think if you think that she wanted to give the money to the sick kids for good publicity, I agree. I think that's why she did it, and I think that's why Johnny Depp goes to see the sick kids, is also for the publicity sake. Like, he doesn't do it out of the goodness of his heart. No one's doing anything for the goodness of their heart. Grow up, please. No one's ever doing things out of the goodness of their heart. And no one would have expected that. Even when she said in the beginning, like, it was very obvious. Like, no, she doesn't care about the sick kids. No one cares about the sick kids. Anyone who tells you that they care about the sick kids is a filthy liar. They're all liars if they think that. And I never understood why anyone would give money to the sick kids. To me, I said, like, I think that this is, like, an irresponsible thing to give money to. It feels like gambling to me. Maybe I'm alone in that, but that's how I feel about it. And I was wondering, why sick kids specifically? And my wild theory as to why she did that is because she was famous for something back in the day. She was famous for having the most scientifically beautiful face. Amber Heard used to compete in beauty pageants. She stopped doing it at a certain point because she was like, this is sexist. But then out of the blue, she wins the ultimate beauty pageant. Ultimate beauty pageant, scientifically, mathematically, had nothing to do with Johnny Depp. He didn't tell people, he didn't pay people off to say she has the most scientifically beautiful face. A computer figured it out, that she has the most scientifically beautiful face. She got it by herself, that award, But you know what? She didn't even get an award. She got nothing. People just said that she had the most scientifically beautiful face, and then they moved on. No one gave her a gift. No one gave her a crown. No one gave her money. They just said, you have the most scientifically beautiful face, and they moved on with the day. And that was completely messed up. You can't say something like that to someone and not give them a gift. Like, she won something major, and no one gave her a gift. Think about that. Think about how messed up that is. And I believe that the reason why she gave it to the sick kids specifically was to get the ball rolling, for people to connect these dots, like beauty pageants. Like, you have the most beautiful, you're the most beautiful one, and then you say that you want to save the world, you want world peace, and to feed the starving children. That's what you say. You say stuff like that. You wanna save the children and help the future. That's what you say. That's the kind of thing. And I think that's why she gave the money to the sick kids. She wanted people to connect the dots. She wanted someone to give her a crown or something. And everyone was so stupid. They couldn't figure out what she was trying to do. They couldn't connect the stupid dots. If I was listening, I could have connected them. I could have said, hey people, give her a crown. But now you know, she wants a crown, give her a crown. That's what this whole thing is about. That's why she did this. I think. This is my opinion. And this whole thing about, like, Johnny Depp, and like she has this whole hit list that she wanted to get with Elon Musk and and she had these schemy things. She's a gold digger. She wanted to get their money and give it to these charities, because she was making those payments. She was making the payments on time to those charities. She had the intention of giving them the money, and she was going to get publicity, good publicity out of it too. She was. But that's why she did it. And if you say that that's the reason, like, she's going to take the money from these people. Do you know what Johnny Depp does with his money? Do you know how he wasted his, like, 600 million? Like, do you know that he spent, like, 3 million? He blew it shooting a dead man out of a cannon. Do you think it's a bad look that she did these schemy things to take money out of these maniacs and, like, give it to charity? You think that she's a bad person for doing something like that? Because to me, if that's what your theory is, the skull digger theory is that, like, that's what she's doing, and this is just like she people said that she had the most scientifically beautiful face, and she thought, well, if I have the most scientifically beautiful face, I should take my face and everything attached to my face and use that power for good. And that's what she decided to do. And if she did that, well, then she's a hero, is she not? She should get, like, a Nobel Peace Prize. Shouldn't she? If she's like that, if that's what her thing is. She's doing what she can with what she has. She took her face and all the things attached to her face to seduce these powerful men to get the money, and she was going to give it to charity. I believe it. That's the only thing that makes sense. Is for her, because she was making those payments on time. She said the pledge was across 10 years. That was the thing. So I don't know what the point is. Like, they have no good points. I'm so sick of this whole thing, this whole line of questioning about the sick kids. It's so stupid. What's your point? No one cares about the sick kids. No one ever cared about the sick kids. What are they saying? I hate this. I hate this so much. And now Amber's countersuit, like, her with the 100 mil that she's asking for, like, she has good points, like, to get that amount of money, like, and I think she's entitled to get the full amount, like, based on everything that's happened. And I just don't see, like, if she doesn't get the full amount of money, what would that mean? Like, she has so much proof of the abuse, the most proof of any victim ever. She's presented it. Like, how can she not get the full amount of money? And I don't know what she's gonna do with, like if she gets the full amount of money. Like, I think she probably would give it to, like, some charities and stuff, like just to get the publicity up. Like, I don't think she's spending her money like in the wild ways that Johnny Depp spends his money. Like, shooting a dead man out of a cannon, like spending millions doing that is crazy, crazy. Like, and people were saying like Amber's the bad person because she made a promise and she didn't fulfill the promise. And I just think like isn't the point to give the money to the sick kids? That's what Ben Chu said. Like, she didn't give the money to these sick kids who desperately need the money. And it's like, how come Johnny Depp hadn't been giving all his like all that amount of money to the sick kids that needed the money? And they had like an ex friend of his question, and he said like Johnny Depp hadn't been spending a lot of money on charities. Like, he hadn't written any big checks to charities. He's been spending his money on foolishness. That's what his ex friend said. And like, they can pull his financial records to show you how much he spends his money on ridiculousness, like his substance abuse. Like, I think they said that he pays his doctors 100,000 a month. What the hell? It's just, and he said that that's a scam. Like, his friend was like, that's a scam. Like, paying him that amount of money is crazy. And if the point of this whole thing, like, they're saying like Anne broke her word, she's a liar, she didn't fulfill her promise to the sick kids. And it's like, let's remind everyone that these two people promised to love and cherish each other until they die. Oh well. Oh well.